name is Madison. So I'll be conducting your interview today.
It's really great to meet you, Madison. I'm Nora.
Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for your interest in our position at Locomotive as a Public Relations Director. As you know, we are a coffee company located in Portland. We offer a delivery service to companies and customers just throughout the area. We're looking to hire a Public Relations Director that would be responsible for creating our presence in the community. Making sure we're getting our image out there and people know about us. So the purpose of this interview is just to ask you a couple questions in order to assess your experience and skills and how you will meet our criteria that we need for this position. So I may be taking some notes during the interview if you don't mind.
Oh, absolutely. Go right ahead.
Okay. So let's just begin with a simple question. Could you just tell me a little bit about yourself that prepares you for this position?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I have some pretty extensive experience working in PR and in marketing, so I would feel very prepared for the position in that regard. I also really do enjoy working in groups with other people. I know from looking at your webpage and some of your literature about your company that you guys really embrace a team atmosphere and kind of like a family-like culture. And that's something that I would honestly really look forward to working in. I very much enjoy working with other people. So I think that would be a really nice way to fit into the company in that position.
Perfect. So just a hypothetical situation. We are doing an advertisement campaign to 45 to 70-year-olds.
Okay.
So what form of social media would you use to reach this audience and why?
45 to 70-year-olds specifically, obviously, yeah, because every age demographic or something is different. So for 45 to 70-year-olds, a lot of people are moving more into the social media. I know that I have some family friends who are in that age group who are definitely working more with social media than they used to be. I honestly would start with either an email campaign or go directly to Facebook instead. Both of those seem to be platforms that work better for that age demographic. I know I don't know of many people above the age of like 30 to 40 who are on Twitter with any kind of regularity or something like that, or potentially Pinterest, but I think Facebook, a lot of kind of that older age demographic uses it to keep in touch with people and things like that. So I think Facebook would really be an effective marketing tool for that, and then any kind of follow-up email campaign or something like that.
Perfect. So another hypothetical situation. Locomotive last month made higher profits than projected. So the team is divided on how to spend this extra funds.
Okay.
One person wants to hire another assistant, while another wants to spend the money on equipment for advertising. So how would you deal with the conflict between the team and the different interests?
Specifically with the conflict itself, or making the decision on what to do with the extra money?
Just how you would handle like the team dynamics and making sure that everyone was being valued in the company.
Yeah.
More on the people.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I think first and foremost, the important thing would definitely be to figure out where each person was coming from in terms of the conflict. If you can figure out what their underlying interests are rather than just the position itself that they're taking, I think that would be really helpful. So, you know, the person who wants to spend the money on hiring another assistant, why do they want to do that? Are they feeling, you know, are we overworked or are we understaffed or something like that? What motivates them to feel that way, and vice versa for the other person? And I think if you're able to make everyone feel valued in that situation, make them feel like their opinion is being heard, it would be a lot easier to resolve, and that way you can come to a common ground much more easily, I think.
So then that being said, what would be your deciding factor then, I guess, to choose? Like, would you try to split the money in half and go both ways a little bit with it, or would you put it all into one fund?
I think it gets a little bit tricky when you're trying to split it either way, because then you run the risk of not doing, you know, your best effort in either direction. I think I would, dependent on how people reacted to the conflict resolution, or, you know, are they really stuck on their side, or are they willing to, you know, kind of go back and forth? I think definitely it would probably generally be a better option to spend more of the money on one than the other. But it's very much dependent on how people are reacting to the conflict. Personally, I think hiring another individual and bringing someone else into the team dynamic would potentially be more beneficial in the long run for the company, just because you are adding that extra mind and that extra set of eyes to look at things, and I think that brings another kind of facet to the dynamic.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mocha is introducing a decaffeinated sweet coffee option for the winter months that we hope will draw in families. So how would you coordinate the production of a commercial within an agency?
The production of a commercial specifically?
Yes.
Okay, so are you looking for specific programs that you're using, or management of a team, or?
So yeah, we're like working with the team, working with the budget, and just being able to, focusing on the production of the video, and like the differing goals and everything that needs to be met.
Yeah, absolutely. I think first and foremost what you would need to do is sit down and figure out who are we targeting with this. Obviously, you said you wanted to market more to families because it is a decaffeinated beverage. I would figure out what is the most effective way to approach this video production. So what platforms are we using? Do we need to hire an outside company or a contractor? And then delegate from there. So who are my team members that I'm working with, and how can I best divide up the tasks that are at hand? So, maybe one person is working specifically on the video production itself, and one person is working on, hey, I'm doing relations with the outside contractor that we're hiring. So definitely delegation and being really clear about who's doing what, I think would be very important, just to make sure that you have an organized approach. Because with something like, especially if it's a major campaign, you want to make sure that all your bases are getting covered.
And so then how would you work with the budget on this kind of?
In terms of budget, yeah, obviously tracking it really carefully. I have some experience working with budgeting in the past for an office that I've worked in. So it's definitely a matter of, I would say, aim lower. Don't, obviously go for the lowest tier option or something like that. But if you can try to work on a stricter budget and track your finances very carefully as time goes on, then if you have extra money later, it's a lot easier to apply that than to kind of have to say, oh, we need to shut this down or pull back because we spent too much. So.
How would you market our company as unique?
Well, I personally feel very strongly about kind of the mission of Mocha. I was doing a little bit of reading, and I noticed that you guys are very, very into the fair trade and the environmentalism, which is also a strong interest of mine. So I think that marketing specifically, what Mocha is about, would definitely be about reaching out to people who maybe aren't in that demographic already. There's obviously, specifically in Portland, a lot of people who are really, really intrigued by fair trade and who are very passionate about that. And I think that's great that you have, a customer base already. But in order to kind of foster growth, you want to reach out to people who aren't already in that demographic. So if you can find, the people who aren't between the ages of 15 and 30, because that, I think, is generally your main people who are really interested in that. If you can reach out to someone who's older or someone who's younger and target your marketing specifically for those age groups, I think that would generate a lot more traffic and a lot more interest for your company.
Perfect. So you market our company more as being like sustainable and fair trade. How would you make Mocha stand out for the other coffee companies that we're also emphasizing that?
Yeah, definitely. There would be, I think, a lot of market research involved. So looking at how other people are advertising their product specifically, and then as well as their mission statement. So are they using kind of a targeted Twitter campaign about a specific aspect of their company, and then taking a step back and saying, what about Mocha is unique, and how do we want to show that to people? So like I was saying earlier about how you guys operate in a very collaborative, team-based mentality, is that a quality of your company that you want to show to your customer base? So do you want to say, hey, we're a family here, you should come in for that family atmosphere, and just picking one or two main qualities and going with it?
And so finally, do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask you a little bit more about kind of the culture and the day-to-day work life at Mocha. I know because it is such a collaborative atmosphere, do you have any insight as to what kind of person fits best into the team, or what qualities are you looking for in someone to work there?
Definitely. So Mocha, I'll just a little bit more just about our company, and then I'll talk about the position and then directly answer your question, if that works. So Mocha obviously wants to provide the freshest coffee we can to our customers and create that welcoming, friendly environment. So we value community and strive to be environmentally friendly and sustainable, as you were talking about before, and definitely want to create that sense of family within our clients and also within our company. So the PR person is going to be communicating effective effectively verbally as well as in writing, and demonstrate strong organizational skills to the management of multiple projects, assist in production of advertisements, reach out to other ad agencies, research our market, and a lot of these things you've been saying and referencing in your interview. And the PR person will also be in charge of creating our presence in the media and in the public through the outreach of target audiences.
Okay.
So day-to-day activities, it is going to be like a lot of like office work and a lot of like researching and writing and social media work. But our office space is very friendly. We try to keep it as open as possible. We don't have everyone put up in little cubicles. We try to keep communication between all the different aspects of our company very open. We definitely have weekly team meetings where everyone meets together, and we keep it very low key. We all drink our coffee, we have donuts, and so we're just trying to really bring about like a family sense atmosphere, but also make sure that we're keeping it professional and getting
As well, yes. Okay, cool.
So do you have any final thoughts for me?
No, I wanted to give you a little feedback. I think that you asked some really great questions, and I really enjoyed kind of coming up with creative solutions to them, so thank you.
Thank you. So expect to hear back in about a week via email. And thank you for coming in today. It was really nice to meet you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have a resume?
I do, yes. I have a copy of each of those for you.
Oh, perfect. So again, thank you so much, and look forward to hearing back.
I will, yeah. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
You know, one